you never forget that even though she has $450 million, I really do, and I mean this sincerely, the fact that she had to hold back that she was a lesbian for years, and ABC told me you couldn't come out. I mean, that frustration would create an anger and a resentment that I think is understandable for people.
Ladies and gentlemen, another celebrity has decided they want to play the victim card, and it's no surprise to us at all. It is Ellen DeGeneres. Yes, she has come out of her little shed in the UK because she left America, apparently. And we got Rob Schneider and Megyn Kelly going over her victim. She wanted to pull that card out real quick and utilize it. And we as Americans, we're kind of over it. We don't care about the DeGeneres at all anymore. She's tied to weird things. Anyway, so we're going to go over this in just a moment. But before we do, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to RTN News to ensure to YouTube you are enjoying our videos. And so in that way, they will continually show up in your feed and then push it out to more people as well. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
I have a question for you on this. This is perfect for you. Because I'm seeing this week that there is an attempted comeback by somebody who did not cross one of those fateful lines of misstepping on their sacred cows of gender or race or sexuality.
Yeah.
But she was said to be a nasty bitch, and that's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
So her show got canceled after she had this testy exchange with Dakota Johnson, where something happened where Dakota said, "Oh, I had this birthday party," and Ellen said, "Well, why didn't you invite me? You didn't invite me." And she said, "Like, no, I did invite you, Ellen. That's not what happened." And Ellen had blown her off. Yeah. And then tried to play the victim on the set with her. Anyway, it led to article after article of people being like, "Ellen's a bitch. Ellen is a nasty person." And all these staffers started to come out, not for nothing, but I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said, you were not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen in the halls of that show.
That's actually insane to me because I grew up watching Ellen shows all the time. She'd have Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian, every celebrity you could think of, Zac Efron, Taylor Swift, whatever, like all of them. P. Diddy. And she'd have them all on, and it's like she seemed like such a funny, fun person. She'd like say the uncomfortable joke, but everyone laughed because it was just lighthearted and she didn't mean any harm. It was just whatever. This is a Christian man opposed to homosexuality. And you can love people without like accepting their lifestyle, which is something the left won't tell you. But yeah, you can love and not accept. It's a thing. But like I used to be a big fan of her, which I didn't realize that there were so many fake people in Hollywood and it was all just a show. But it's interesting to see behind the scenes she was such a cruel individual, not letting people make eye contact with you. That is insane. That's insane. Who do you think you are? You're not any better than anyone else. It's wild, but I'd love to hear Rob Schneider's perspective because I grew up watching Rob Schneider as well on all the Adam Sandler movies, and his movie Hot Chick. It was so funny. It was classic throwbacks, but let's hear what he has to say about it.
So this is not a nice person. So she eventually got canceled, but now she's coming back. She's got a Netflix special. That's the right response.
Yeah.
She's got a Netflix special. And here's the capper. On the promo, and apparently there's now articles out about from people who have seen the preview, she plays the victim. And she says, "For me," and she actually has the nerve to say that she was run out of Hollywood.
Surprise, surprise.
This person
with $100 million in her pocket.
$450 million according to Forbes. That's a low estimate.
Yeah.
Because so now she's out there saying, "I was run out of Hollywood." She's actually reportedly complaining about how hard it is for women in America with the double standards.
Look at Oprah, how hard it is for her.
Oh, she's got, like 10 houses, Ellen DeGeneres?
Michelle Obama, look how hard it is for women in America. They're hurting.
They're going to let her back in, Rob, because she's a lesbian, she's a leftist, and she didn't hit one of their sacred cows. Nastiness, that's their bread and butter.
Well, I think everyone... I will say, like, the resentment, I think everyone should have a chance for reconciliation. I don't think Jesus exempted anybody. And so I do, while it does, because I have been allowed back in, but I don't hold any grievance and resentment. It's very important. And I would just say for Ellen, the resentment, you have to get over resentment to whatever addiction or addictive qualities happen. To get over it, you have to deal with resentment and address it And then otherwise you're going to fall back into the same pattern. And I think also to admit
like
your
of
mistakes.
all people on earth to be feeling sorry for herself, Ellen DeGeneres should not be on the list.
She should at least, but make a real apology and do it.
There's no apology. It's just woe is me. I was run out of Hollywood as she speaks from this grandiose stage on Netflix. Hello.
These people are so narcissistic. It's so true. Like I don't agree with the sentiment that every celebrity needs to apologize for behaviors that happened in their own personal lives that didn't affect anyone else but them and maybe the people close to them. You don't owe your fans an apology. Now you can apologize, but hey, I'm sorry. I know you looked up to me or whatever. But if what you did is not relative to what you did, then you don't owe them anything. But when you are propagating things that are harmful to the American people, and they love you and they look up to you, and then you just kind of run off and don't take accountability, then yeah, you owe an apology.
Oh, you haven't been canceled if you are doing a Netflix special. She got $20 million for the one before this. I'm sure she's fine.
I'm sure she's fine. It is. Ellen is a comedian, and all comedians, and I get it, and I have to fight this, and it is true. You never forget that even though she has $450 million, I really do, and I mean this sincerely. The fact that she had to hold back that she was a lesbian for years, and ABC told me you couldn't come out. I mean, that frustration would create an anger and a resentment that I think is understandable for people. That doesn't equate or doesn't justify any meanness or any ugliness. But I was with her. And when she was a stand-up comedian, and when they made her star in a movie where she had to kiss another guy and do this movie, which obviously wasn't being able to play herself. And I do remember being with her and feeling like...
That's a whole part of playing a character. I don't care. And here's the thing. You can choose the roles you do or do not want to do. And here's the thing. Another thing. Heterosexual roles are more popular because guess what? More people are heterosexual. So if you're gay and you want to kiss the same sex and not play the role that is more popularized, that's fine, but you're not gonna have as many roles. And vice versa. If a straight person doesn't want to kiss the same sex because I know I'm an actor, but I don't want to do that, whether it be my religious beliefs or whatever, they don't have to. But don't throw a fit when you have to do the thing that you don't want to do to get where you want to get. Just be like, hey, that's not for me, and maybe it's not for me. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about that, because whenever I hear that kind of stuff, resentment, like what? Are you playing a role or are you not playing a role? And at that time, you lived in a clean period where things weren't degenerate like they are now. And so that would have been the perfect time. No sympathy there for you to have resentment and be the way you are now because of that.
That resentment and going, wow, that's a much tougher road than I've had to go through. Mm-hmm. And so
But
I know,
the same society bestowed riches beyond the wildest imagination upon this
I know.
woman.
But when you don't get over your grievances and you let it fester and resent and take it out on people, and then I think that's something that has to be, I mean, there really does have to be a coming to Jesus moment where you have to, I mean, literally or figuratively, where you can just get over this stuff and then start over and say, yeah, I was whether you want to use the C word or the B word, and admit that and move on. And I think in our culture, the great thing about America is that you really do have a tradition of forgiveness here. Mm-hmm. We have a culture.
I agree with you. And forgiveness is great. I'm Catholic. It's just the double standard on it is very galling. Here's a clip, by the way. This is...
Thank you. You can sit there and forget. You should always forgive people. But we're going to call you out for your inconsistency. There's a double standard that is presented that you are a part of. I will call you out on it, and it must be acknowledged and accepted. And then I'll forgive you if you genuinely changed from the way that you were before. But you have to acknowledge that.
This is the promo for her Netflix special, and here's a clip.
Decided to take up gardening. I got chickens. Let me see what else I can tell you about that. Been going on. Oh yeah, I got kicked out of show business. The Be Kind Girl wasn't kind. That was the headline. Here's the problem. I'm a comedian who got a talk show, and I ended the show every day by saying, be kind to one another. And I ended my show by saying, go fuck yourselves. People would have been pleasantly surprised to find out I'm kind.
Well, yeah, that's disingenuous. That's disingenuous.
Yeah, disingenuous.
Disgenerous. That's disgenerous. Well, I think I mean, there's certainly no lack of, I don't sense any humility
No.
in that.
No. And no one cares that now she's dealing with chickens. It's like, all right,
You're a normal $450 million
Right.
person.
And by the way,
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Those jokes are fine. And it was funny. But the problem people have is you would say be kind to one another at the end of your show, and then behind closed doors were cruel and mean and held yourself way higher than you should have. Thought higher of yourself than you ought to think. That's scriptural. Because you thought you were like a god among men because of the power that you held and the prominence that you had created and built through a career of success. And you're not better than anyone else because of that. And you treated other people as if you were. And that's the issue. Not that you're kind to one another and made jokes that were like a little edgy. Like no one cared about that stuff. Everyone thought that was funny. That was in your shows. It's how you treated people behind closed doors. That's what the problem was. And you know that. But yeah, she won't take accountability.
I guarantee you she's
Who's
worth
taking
a
care
lot
of her
more.
chickens? I guarantee. What's that? You guarantee what?
She's worth a lot more than $450 million.
Her art alone.
And like those talk show hosts.
Her devil worshipping art alone.
It's just, it's too much. I can't stand these rich celebrities who want us to feel sorry for them. We don't, right? It's like all those you saw, like Julia Roberts on the Oprah special with Kamala Harris, like, oh, and Meryl Streep. Like,
I know, winning over the hearts of people who live in gated communities everywhere.
well, wait, are these still your people? Are you still in California?
No, I had to move out.
Funny thing about all this is, obviously these celebrities are so out of touch and so rich. But one thing I will say, it's funny, is that like all these conservative influencers, like Megyn Kelly, who has her own, I think she's independent now, and like a lot of people, Candace Owens, all of them, they make a lot of money too, and I'm happy for them. And they make money by bringing the truth to people. But it's just so funny when you're on that level of the conservative movement, when you're so big to where you're making millions of dollars as well. Maybe not on the level of the Ellen DeGeneres of the world, and I'm not negating. I think you should make as much money as you can. Speaking truth, I appreciate that. It's just funny because it's like, at a certain point, when are you out of touch? Now, I think cognitively, you're in the same position of like understanding where the American people are at because you were there too. You see the attack on children, all that stuff. I align with you. But at a certain point, people are going to say the same thing. And so what's your talking point going to be then? We need to figure out what we're going to say there to still instill these types of values into the American people. Even if we make it to a point of such wealth that it's like we can't relate, but we could have because of our previous selves or whatever. I don't know. But like there's a way, at a certain point, out of touch is going to be relative to you as well. So we got to figure out the balance and figuring that conversation out. But if you enjoyed this video and are sick of Ellen DeGeneres and her victim mentality that she portrays, is something that I guess I'll say in favor of Megyn Kelly and all them. They don't play the victim. So I appreciate that about them as well. But if you enjoyed this video, comment your thoughts down below. Make sure you subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.